Hello there, I'm Matt, and this is a 3-day and 2-night bikepacking trip from Houston, Minnesota, all the way out to Fountain, Minnesota, down to Preston, and back on the third day. One of my first big bikepacking trips. I decided to scoot the route, and this is the Trailhead Park actually. There were good folks that worked here. Don't mind the overgrown stuff. It only seems overgrown because it's really overgrown. I'll be using maps that look like this. I know it looks kind of janky. You'll get used to it. All right, I've arrived in Houston, Minnesota. It's actually beautiful. It's a chilly day in August. It's fantastic. I'm at the Trailhead Park. I found out that I can actually park here for a couple days free, which is excellent. All I gotta do now is change and get the bike loaded up. Okay, day one is Houston, Rushford, Preston, Whalan, and then on to the campground. There we go. That is 80 pounds of bike and gear. I don't think I overpacked, but sure seems like a lot of stuff. Within a few miles, I encountered this down tree. There were several just like it. I had to actually take my panniers off and carry my bike over. It's a low moment. Found some corn. Well, as you can see, I've managed to find some corn. It's probably 8-9 feet high. Within about 5 or 6 miles of Houston, came across this enormous bridge. Had to be 200 yards long. First big bridge across the Root River. I was pretty happy that it was dry because those oiled timbers can get pretty slick, according to a friend of mine named Sinu. And check out this log jam. It's gigantic. This is pretty typical of the woods before Rushford. A storm had been through, so the trail really hadn't been cleaned up yet. Nevertheless, I arrived in Rushford, went to the American Legion, and found myself $2 poles. Not bad, Rushford. Well played. And after that is Peterson. They've got a gnome problem there in Peterson. A known gnome problem. The things are everywhere. This one tried to steal my bike. These little bridges were everywhere. Thankfully, most of them were asphalt. And then, of course, there was a parade of tractors. I guess this is pretty normal for them. Literally a parade. There had to be 20 of them. I just showed a couple here. And finally into Whalan. Boy, I was hungry at this point. I don't know what they're selling here, but I'm buying. Guess what they were selling? They were selling pie. Blueberry pie. Butter pecan ice cream, $9. I could have eaten 10 of them. Also, I had no idea they're world famous pies. Huh. Here's some artwork I found and a really cool little place across the street. All right, so I just got to my site, C38. It's not exactly crowded. There's the route. Nothing but the best in camp. Old site C38 had a little chicken, a little ramen, a little pocket rocket. Life was good. It was so good I named this meal the Wayne Johnson. If you know, you know. Just having dinner, a little chicken ramen with chicken added. I don't know what it is about a camp cooked meal. It's fantastic. Plus, I have like titanium stuff, so, you know, playing with toys, always good. This seemed like a weird flex to me, but if you're proud of your septic, show it off, man. Check out the vestibule, man. Want a view from the inside? Bam, ask and you shall receive. Okay, day one was 30 miles from Houston to west of Whalan. Eagle Cliff Campground is about a couple miles, unless you get turned around and then it's a few more miles. Not that that could happen to me, but anywho, the site is pretty good overall. Still only one other tenter, and they're way down there, but day one complete. Down by the river, took a little walk. Ran into the infantry, we had a little talk. Just kidding. I love me some crunchies. I was very pleased with my camp setup. Very nice. It did get pretty chilly that night though. Good morning. Just listening to the sounds of woodpeckers and frogs and whatnot here along the Boot River. Just had a little coffee. Also having some oatmeal. Something about a camp cooked breakfast, even if it's just instant oatmeal. Not a bad day. All right, so coffee's done, breakfast is done. Other business is done. Still only about 7:40. The plan is to get on the bike and go explore some towns. Should be a fun day. Decided to leave my stuff here. I originally planned to pack it up and go to a different campground today, but I like it here. Devil you know and all. So that also affords me the opportunity to explore with a much lighter bike. So I'm still gonna check out the towns I wanted to see. I'll come back here and camp after. Okay, I wanted to go through kind of my mess kit. First, there is a company called Magware. These magnetic cutlery. They nest within each other, and overall they're pretty good. I wish the spoon had a little bit more of an angle to it, but it's completely fine. Same thing with the fork. This is a cup by a company called Snow Peak. Obviously I'm not sponsored by anybody. It's a titanium cup. I think that just means it's light. With all the stuff I carry, I don't know that it matters that much. It's got a handle on it though, and that's very effective. Inside, this is pretty much all of the rest of it. This is a GSI boiler, 1.1 liter. Got a handle built in, which is nice. Got a little lid, which is also nice. Inside is an MSR pocket rocket, and you can store your fuel. I kind of go back and forth as to whether I have the cup in there and then the pocket rocket inside there, or whether I have the fuel in there. One cool thing I did find is with the pocket rocket, it doesn't have an igniter. I found this fire beaner. It's a kind of a cool little toy. It emits a spark, so you can light your pocket rocket, but also has like a little ripping tool for opening Mountain House meals or whatever you have there. It's also got a really small screwdriver, a little flat. I don't know what you'd need that for, and a carabiner to connect it. I have some spare flints just in with the pocket rocket. Hopefully I won't lose them. What are the chances? Get this guy going. It's not too hard. I don't know if those woodpeckers show up in the audio, but they are loud. Pretty handy little tool. So that's pretty much it. Boiling water, making coffee. You could probably have like a small pan instead of this. I don't. I bet you there's a burger on the menu for my lunch though. Okay, off on my day 2 adventure, starting in Whalan, up to Fountain, down to Preston, back home. As cool as it is to have all your stuff with you on your bike, it felt so good on day 2 to be able to ride without all that stuff on my bike. Nice and light, way faster. One thing to know about this area is there are rattlesnakes. I didn't see any, but they're down there. One of the best parts of this trail was seeing all the beautiful wildflowers. Like I said, there'd been a storm the night before, or the days leading up to this, and the flowers were out in full bloom. You could also see where this county had been out, really taking care of the trail, making sure it was accessible for everybody. There are a couple different branches of the Root River, and this is where the south branch connects to the main route. Fantastic bridge, really well maintained, smooth. And this leads into Lanesboro. Really cool little town. Lots of really cool shops, visitor center, nice restaurants. Speaking of cool places in Lanesboro, I walked into this pastry shop and asked to see a menu. Gal says, "Sir, we don't have menus. Just tell me what you like and I'll make it for you." And there's breakfast. Heading west out of Lanesboro, here is a dam there. Really cool. And also this cutout left over from the railroad days. I knew it was there. It was really cool to see though when I found it. More Mother Nature's work here. Really, really cool wildflowers along the whole path. Somebody asked if you'd rather have one long hill or a bunch of small ones. I'm about 2 miles into a 4-mile hill. I prefer a bunch of small ones. That's just me. Turns out it's actually a 5-mile hill. But at the end of the hill, you arrive at the terminus, the end of the trail in Fountain, Minnesota. And when you're in Fountain, there's the Beaver Bottom Saloon there. Turns out the local law requires you to have a Bloody Mary when you're there. So this one's got all kinds of fancy stuff in there. Meat stick and some unicorn magic. It was awesome. And check out this water tower. How cool is that? So I took a picture at the beginning of the trail and headed myself down to Preston, Minnesota. There's a selfie station. I found this from my buddy Frank Watson. Kind of cool. Tank. Okay, I got a little excited. They do have a really cool M60A3 tank though. Beautiful. I got some better footage of the reservoir. Really, really cool. I'm not really sure what the deal is with these shelters. Can you camp in there? Or they just for the storm? But my day ended in a hammock anyway. Well, okay, my day actually ended with this something sausage bolognese pasta thing, freeze-dried meal. Meh, maybe a 4 out of 10. And the next day started with fire. Fire. Day 3 was a travel back to my car day. So got up, cleaned up camp, packed up the bike. It started raining as soon as I got moving, which was fine. The sun came out eventually, and so did she. And where there's one, you know there's two. The sun will come out tomorrow. There's no extra charge for that singing, but the sun did come out. I took a nice break in Preston. I kind of dodged some raindrops here and there. Then we got to Rushford. They did not put me in jail, which was nice. They also did not hire me to be a teacher in their one-room schoolhouse, but they did feed me. That was appreciated. I spent the better part of 3 days next to the Root River. I saw some people paddling in it, kayaks and canoes, some people tubing. Very nice. Muddy, wide, slow moving. About 110 miles later, a couple of nights camping, I finally made it back to Houston. Successful trip. Yes. Once I got the obligatory selfie done at the end, got all packed up, I thought I was done. And I realized I really hadn't looked around Houston very much, so decided to take a look. Another very quaint little Minnesota town, plus they had another tank. There's a Stewart. Gotta love a little tank town. Anyway, I highly recommend taking a scoot on the route if you get a chance. Take care.